Hello there and welcome to Nash Talk Network. Now, today I have a phenomenal woman, and it is because I admire her success story of starting organizations and still maintaining it. She's a mother and she's a manager. She's just a great person. And I'm just gonna let her introduce herself. Please welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Sarah Munire. I am a mother, like Evelyn said. I have 4 children. My oldest is 21. And I have a 16-year-old, 10-year-old, and tomorrow we'll have an 8-year-old. So she's still 7. I live here in New Jersey with my husband. And we love living here. We've been in the US for many years. All our kids have been born here. And beside that, I work. I have a full-time job. And I also have 2 organizations. One is a business and the other one is a nonprofit. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Yeah. So I really can't say enough about how I feel about your organization, EPAD, and it is because it's shedding some light to an African child or an African descent person. And can you just take us so much through about what you guys do in EPAD and expand it a little bit so that maybe our viewers can know what you're doing in your nonprofit organization?
Yes, sure. EPAD, it's an abbreviation of Empowering People of African Descent, and it was started in 2019. And the reason I felt the need to start that organization was what I was going through myself, and in my own personal life, and also within the community. I employed myself as a community leader, among others, and it's many times that many parents usually reach out to me to talk to their children, to be there, to listen, to guide them, to mentor, and I don't take that for granted. And so when it came to my own child, I as he walked through his journey of high school, I felt that many parents are walking similar journey. And so I decided to reach out to a couple of parents who are class of 2020 and to get to understand how they are dealing with their children. And it's funny because I reached out to parents who had other kids who are older, who had gone through college. And when I had some doubts from parents who are not sure, how to deal with the many needs that are there when a child is applying college, I felt there was a space where parents can come together and we help each other. So the first meeting, we invited the kids and we invited the parents. We sat down and I had gathered some notes. I had invited other more experts in college application. And so we sat together and we discussed the needs that were there. And since then, the needs, we decided that we'll form an organization so that we can be able to support the parents and support the children as they apply for college. Now, it did not end there because through the process of application, there are many other needs that comes. You apply for college, but then for you to be successful in the process, you must be well prepared. And that's why we went back and said that we'll be supporting parents and the kids from the middle school up. So we have a WhatsApp group that we share the information on when we have the events. All our events in the last year, a couple of years since COVID, has been on virtual. A few events here and there, we meet up somewhere and we bring the kids over. Even in 2020, when there was COVID and a lot of schools canceled their graduation. We did graduation for our kids here in New Jersey. We had about 23 kids who graduated high school that time. And we went to a park and we had a big event where we recognized kids. We gave them a time to wear their gown and share their story, being listened by their close friends and families. And those kids are now in that third year of college. And there were some other kids that were involved who were ahead of them. So now we have great mentors from the ones who have graduated. We have lawyers, we have doctors, nurses, teachers who are coming back to give back to the other kids who are coming up. So it's a great program where we get mentors from within. We also get scholarships and scholarship leads. And we also help the kids as they graduate college or as they go through college to get their first internships. So those are the supports that we do. Of course, it doesn't go without challenge. There's a lot of challenges. And some of the challenges that we faced is parents not getting involved in it, like parents being hands off. So you see, we can't reach the kids. We can only reach the kids through the parents. Now, if parents don't find the need to encourage their kids to attend, sometimes it becomes a challenge. If the parents know the information and they do nothing about it, become another problem. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I believe that what sets apart your organization with others is the fact that you're shedding light to, young children, especially of African descent. So, Sarah, now you're a mom, you're working, and you're running all these organizations. What is the seed of your empowerment? What is the seed of your inspiration? How did you get there? If you can get into, I know.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think I am a fifth child. And I guess they always say that the fifth child or the middle child have to find their space. I feel that in my family, the most active person in public life, most active in supporting others and talking and sharing my views. And I think it's really from how I was brought up. My father, he loved people and he was always very supportive. And I used to admire him and what he did. He would be the chairperson in the school, supporting the church, and all these other things that came along. When I grew up and I came here, I really wanted to spend more time with my dad, but he passed on before I could go back home. And when I got here, because I found myself alone, I felt the need to expand and get other people in my circle. And within no time, I was able to have a lot of friends and I was able to build many good relationships. And as I went through life, I realized that you need people to succeed in whatever you are doing. And when I moved here, through the challenges that I faced, I realized that it is through people that I got help. And at the same time, I also realized that if you are good to people and you help others, there's joy that comes with it. And I think all these things that I do, it is the foundation and the joy that they bring to me. Sometimes it's really not, I don't really make money in a lot of things that I do, but they bring a lot of joy and a lot of life.
Oh, wow. So dealing with children of African descent, what are the first-hand struggles that you have seen them go through that usually parents are totally unaware of?
One of the biggest struggle is that most of our children are very quiet. They are very gifted and they know a lot. But because of their upbringing, on how we bring them, we bring them up, and the environment, there's always a crash. Most kids have that, and some of them talk about it, and they get older, but majority of them are just, there. Because remember, we went through colonization.
Yeah.
So we have that background, and we really carry that in us, back there in our mindset.
Yeah.
African American here went through slavery. And no matter what, their kids carry that behind them. The children that we give birth to here, they don't have that colonization element in them, and they don't have the slavery in them. And so they find that they're not 100% Kenyan or Africans, and they're not 100% African American. They're in their own world. And these kids, no matter how hard we want to believe, majority of our children, they are not able to mingle well with African Americans, and they are not able to mingle well with Kenyans. Of course, they are not white, they are not Asian. So that element of being in a space where sometimes you feel alone. A child may have a lot of kids who they are hanging out with, but when they come down to their life, there is nobody else who eats ugali in their home. There is nobody else whose parents are waking up in the morning telling them, you must get A's. Because, we are brought up, Kenyan, we are brought up with that mentality of education as the forefront on anything. And so there's the kids at home, you're constantly bothering them to get A's, to succeed in whatever they are doing. And in school, they find that they are not well acquitted with either, with anybody. So I feel that parents need to understand their children and offer a space where their kids can really open up and share what the struggles that they are going through. Understand the challenges they are facing. Because whether we like it or not, they get sidelined because they are Black people. And they're not able to come maybe and share that. Maybe they don't even recognize it. The other day, I was talking to someone, and two people. There's an African American friend of mine, and there's a Kenyan who experienced the same thing in a restaurant. But the Kenyan did not recognize that it was racism. An African American recognized right away. It's the same thing with our kids. Sometimes they're in class and they're not being asked any question. Even when they raise their hands, the teachers are ignoring them. And then they think, but the teacher just wants the other person to answer. But it's not that. There's an element that racism or challenges that our kids are facing, and sometimes they have nobody to tell, because even if they come and tell you as a parent, you are not bringing yourself to be aware that this could be a challenge that you can actually face. So I think it is more getting educated, getting the exposure, and helping you, doing whatever you need to do to understand how you can well support your children from when they are young. Not only when they are older. It starts from when they are young. Advocate for your children. Because in Kenya, I don't know where you grew up, but in Kenya, if you did something wrong in school, when you come home, you are always the person who did wrong. The teacher never your parents will align with the teacher.
Yeah.
They will say, okay, whatever the teacher says goes.
Yeah.
So here it's different. Listen to your children and believe them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the biggest challenges.
Okay.
Because you go and you are not listening to your kids. You are not advocating for them. You are quiet about it. You go to a baseball game. Your child is in the bench the whole time. And then you say nothing about it. You wait, the baseball or the football, it's done within a certain time.
Yeah.
You go home with your child. You do not ask how did it feel to be seated there in the bench. And you know your child is good at it.
Yeah.
Yet the coach is discriminating your child. And you are saying nothing about it. Who is going to advocate for her?
Yeah.
She will show this huge tempers as she grows.
Yeah.
And you'll be wondering where did it come from.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to learn. And I believe because we have now parents who have older children here, they will be willing to come to IPAD or to go in another organization and share their experiences to help the younger parents. And also for us as a community to learn how best we can be able to raise a strong community, strong children who can advocate for themselves, who can advocate for others, who are willing to just grow strong. And
Oh, wow. Actually, that brings me to the next question, that African parents or African people listen in African, we unwittingly silence the voices of our children, and that damages them. Yeah. So what are the ways we can what are the ways you think we can talk to the parents here so that they can support their children better, especially those who are living here in the United States?
Yeah, when you talk about things that keep you awake, it's some of those, because when parents don't know what to do, it's a big problem. And I always say that our kids are excellent. We have some of the best, smartest, brilliant children. But the issue is the parents. Sometimes we just don't know. As parents, we don't know what to do. We don't know when we are making mistakes. But fortunate, nowadays, there are areas that places where we can go and learn. And we are unique because if you have American friends, they're going through different challenges than you. Even though you hang out with them and they live in your house, the challenges they face with their children, it's very different. Now, you really have, this is a suggestion that I would have as Kenyan parents. I think it is important for us to have a forum where we can be able to discuss openly, because there is also an element of hiding. Openly about the issues that are affecting our children. And then get experts, people who can be able to help us navigate some of these challenges. Because when you keep everything private to yourself, and you're not seeking help to be able to navigate the challenges, then you're not helping yourself, neither are you helping your children. So I think it's about seeking the help that you need to be able to especially advocate and share, advocate and be able to be there supportive to your kids. The other thing is to listen to your kids. And you have to come to their level. Because if you become the African parent, where you are authoritarian, it is my way or no way, you lack a lot.
Yeah.
Because you know what will happen?
Mm-hmm.
Them kids will be quiet. They will not tell you anything. They'll be quiet. They will continue living under you, but it will come a time when they'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
And you have damaged their life. You have damaged their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. So let's get into Jumbo List, the most exciting part. And I know off the cameras, we have gone through what you guys do. And could you just, to the inception of Jumbo List, how did it came about? Because I heard one of your co-founders, Teresa, and she really spearheaded that. Oh, you should look for Sarah. You should look for Sarah. So, Sarah, I think you're the right person to take us through Jumbo List.
Oh my, that's what she said.
Yes.
That's my big sister.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine, you know, for many years.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually my maid of maid of honor, matron of honor for my wedding.
Oh my goodness.
This is what 12 years ago. So I've known her for many years.
Yes.
I respect her. She's a very smart woman and very driven.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't take no for an answer.
Yes, yes.
And so when we were just chatting, and the whole Jabolis was born from a conversation and the need for the community. So one day we were just taking a walk and we talked about Alabai, a podcast that she had shared and I had listened. And the Labai was talking about how come you never see a Jew or a Jewish person who's poor. And I listened to the rabbi. He said that before a Jewish person go out of their community to hire someone else, they have to look through within their people and make sure that there's nobody who can do what they're looking for someone from outside to do. That is not a discrimination or anything like that. That's what they learn from their
culture.
Yes, their culture and their Bible, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
You know. And so from there, I learned that we could do something simple. And that night we talked about it because several people, you know, of course, being a community leader here in New Jersey and in the New York metro area, I get a lot of calls for people looking for different things. I'm looking for a nanny, I'm looking for a photographer, I'm looking for whatever. You know, and so that night we said, you know, I think we really need to figure out how we can be able to help business people who are Kenyan be able to be known by other Kenyans. And so we reached out to a few business people and we formed a directory. And that directory has been growing. And our aim is just to give the business people the exposure that they need so that we Kenyans can be able to support them. And it doesn't have to be a small business. It can be a big business. It can be a small business. It can be whatever it is. You may own a McDonald's or a gas station or a school, or you may be a nanny or you're looking for a job. Whatever small that you're doing or big that you're doing, if Kenyans know about it, you know, to encourage us to support whatever business. Now, for me, Jabolis is tied to EPAD because I just showed you that our first class of EPAD are now working. You know, we have several lawyers, we have accountants who can do your taxes. We have doctors who can refer you or see you. We have specialists, you know, we have surgeons. So we do have a lot of our kids, our offspring, who now have businesses.
Oh, wow.
And we felt that it's important for us to be able to help those kids help our generation build a strong economy.
Yeah.
With strong economy, with a strong community and strong economy, the government, other people will listen to us. And so Jamborees is a platform where it's a one-stop shop where you can get into our website and find everything you're looking for.
Yes.
To be able to meet the needs that you have and also support other Kenyans or Africans for that matter.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Sarah. But before we wind up this interview, Jambo List is consisting of 3 women that came up together. How do you guys keep yourself together? Because it's very rare to have women on our own self getting it together all through. What has really been the source and the pillar of you guys coming up together and nothing like crushes you?
Oh, well, that's a good question. And I must say that God has really been gracious. He has been great. I think, or not even I think, it's true that the foundation of Jamborees was really a God's plan. We are all believers. We love Jesus, and we have a board of doing God's work. We feel that Jamborees is really a manifestation of what God put in us. And so before our meetings, we start all our meetings with a word of prayer.
Wow.
We pray together.
Yes.
We are sisters and friends before we are partners. So we can never clash.
Yes.
And if we clash, we are sisters. Sisters are always there for each other. You can never say that I'll never talk to my sister or my brother because you'll clash, you'll fight. But even if you fight there and it ends there. It's not even a fight. So we usually have very, very mature arguments. Because we have interest in the product that we want to bring out.
Oh, wow.
We also have tapped into our strength. Those 3 women have different strengths. Each one of us bring their A game. And also, we have great supportive husbands. So I say it's God, because there could be one person who did not have a supportive spouse, but we all have supportive husbands and great families that really are always there to support us. I can't even tell you how many times we have tapped into our kids to do some of these videos or do some of these flyers, do some of this, and they're always there. I can't tell you how many times that we have called our husbands to go to certain meetings that we can make, to go represent us. How many times that we have woken them at night to talk to our developers about our website, about our social media, whatever, because we bring all strengths that we have together for the success of Jambo. Right now, our CEO, she's in Kenya, and she's lived here for many, many years, but now she's in Kenya and navigating that world, and she's doing great. As we plan our next expo, she is on the ground to make sure that we meet all the needs that we need to be successful in what we are doing. She's doing all the meetings with the government officials. We have many planned things that we have coming up, and she is doing all those things, that preliminaries, to make sure that we maintain our business, we maintain the business for our clients, and we do what needs to be done to be successful. Our main focus, all of us, is to make sure that our clients get an A game. We want them to benefit from what we are doing. Even where we don't really make much money, we know if our clients benefit, the diaspora community benefits.
Definitely.
And we may not be feasible today, but we know that if we help you acquire a piece of land and it is clean, if we help you start a business in Kenya and it is successful, you will one day remember us.
Oh, wow.
So our goal is long term.
Yeah.
Short term, we are scrabbling and putting things together.
Yes.
And we have seen God really bless us a lot. But the long term, that's what we are looking for.
Yeah.
The success for our people.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So how do we get into Jumbo List?
Oh, okay. Jumbo List, we have a website. It's called www.jumbolist.com. It's pretty easy to register. If you go there, you create an account. After you create an account, then you log into your account and it will ask you all your information. Now, you go add in your phone number, your social media accounts, a little bit about your business and what you do, where you are located, and boom, you can add a picture or two.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you do that, by default, people will be getting in touch with you. And when they come to the website, they don't have to come to me. They come to you straight. Because your social media and all information and your contacts, it's in the website. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage all people who have, all business people who have businesses to register. And not only those who are in Kenya, in the US, we also register the businesses that are in Kenya that are looking to tap into the US market.
Okay.
So if you know of any business, or if you're watching this and you have a business in Kenya and you'd like US market, Canada market to get into you and you tap into these dollars, please register.
Thank you so much. Now, finally, we have women watching this video. I have audiences from Kenya. We have audience from here. And you are a mom. I mean, a mom of 4, and you're working at the same time, running organization. I don't know how you do that, but we have aspiring women who are aspiring to start their own organization, business, get out there. What is that one advice or inspiration that you can leave it to them?
You can do anything that you put your mind into. It doesn't matter whether you are a woman or a man. If you really want it, you can get it. And I think one of the most important things is to look at what is happening in your life.
Yes.
And let it be your penina. Let it be the one thing that is pushing you. I look at my children and I feel that I want the best for my children. So when I'm pushing forward, when I'm creating these organizations, when I'm putting so much time to learn them and to do what I need to do, I'm thinking about my children. Because what would I want my kids to do? I want them to be successful. I want them to see the world. I want them to be themselves. I want them to know they are loved and to grow in an environment where they feel they belong. Now, putting my foot forward and doing what I do, I involve my kids. I want them to learn as they grow, that you don't just sit down and let things happen. You want to be in the game. You want to be a part of the things that are happening.
Yes.
So I believe that women are the foundation of families. And I believe that every successful family has a woman who works very hard.
Wow.
And even if you start a business by yourself, if you have a husband, remember the business also belongs to him. Because, if I'm successful, I want my husband to also be part of the success.
Yes.
And it doesn't help to divide the family because you are doing well business-wise. The money can come from anywhere. the success can come from you or it can come from your husband. As long as you put your family first, you put God first, family second, and anything else you do after that. But success is yours if you want it.
Oh,
You can get it.
Wow. Sarah, thank you so much for hosting us today. It has been incredibly great, and thank you for your support. So to our viewers, thank you so much. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel.